Guys, Barbell Apparel is dropping their Black Friday full launch on November 25th. And this, of course, is their biggest sale of the year. You can get any pair of their pants, jeans, chinos, even their anything pants. Or go for the sold-out covert pants for just $99. But that's not all. You're also getting 20% off site-wide on anything else. These guys always have your back. Barbell has the best clothes and the best deals. Athletes love these pants for the fit, freedom of movement, whether you're training or just enjoying life. And the quality is top-notch. With their replacement guarantee, Barbell gear is built to last, just like your workouts. They've also got a size exchange guarantee, so there's no stress if the size isn't perfect. And don't sleep on the tops and new products. They have the same attention to detail and are built to combine performance and comfort. It's all about bringing that athlete mindset into your daily life with Barbell. So head to barbellapparel.com on November 25th. Grab your pants for $99 and take 20% off all the rest. Trust me, you're going to feel the difference. Or just click on the link below. Rakhmonov, Ian Garry. This is a sneaky good fight. And it's a sneakily complex match. Now, Ian Garry brings a lot to the table. But Ian Garry does offer for us a level of entertainment that few other guys even attempt to do. They did a cameo and they threw to Ian's wife. This was at a show in California when everything was hot. They had her ringside. She just gave Ian a kiss before he got into the ring. That building erupted. That's good stuff. Ian Garry was so talked about at a press conference that he didn't show up for. This was December of last year. The main event was Covington versus Edwards, just for perspective for you. And Ian Garry didn't come to a press conference. More questions, more headline, more topics about him. He offers something. Can we all agree on that? Okay. But this is Ian Garry's friend? Somebody that he's friendly with? Is that a fair word? And I'm putting myself in there. Teammates meant something. Teammates meant a lot. And Rakhmonov and Ian Garry were teammates. They were workout partners. They were in there to work with each other, to help each other, to use the other one to help themselves. But when you go into those situations, there's a very clear pecking order, and you fall into it pretty quickly. And it does get tested at times. You'll have somebody that thinks it's his turn and he's going to rise up, and it's fair play. He might do just that. But he might not. And when he doesn't, you will fall into order. And if you're going to come back to this gym at this time and be part of this club, you're going to adhere to an unspoken yet proven and known order. Or, if you'd like to break that code, there's the door. There's not another way to do it. That's the way. Now, if you show yourself the door because you are not content or satisfied with the order or the way that that order was established, speak up. But that's not what happened here. Ian Garry, who offers us a massive level of entertainment outside of the cage, has never been disrespectful in the least towards Rakhmonov. Ian Garry has never even tried to rewrite what happened in those workouts. So why did he take the fight? Why would one of our sport's biggest stars, top 5 biggest stars the UFC has, non-champions, top 5 biggest draw with potential, why would he take a fight against a guy who he's fought many times, who he knows well? And not only agree to fight him, but agree to fight him 70% longer than a natural fight would call for, right? A natural fight would be 3 rounds. They've added 70% to it. So what used to be an ass kicking every day at 3 now becomes your opponent for 5 rounds, and Ian Garry didn't flinch. I'm just asking you why. And that's where the sneaky part starts to come in. Ian Garry is really good at fighting. I don't just mean his record. If you go watch Garry on his feet, the way he will flinch and set things up before he goes into a combo, I'm just telling you, like, his skills, his X's and O's are as good as anybody. He also has no ground game. That's the belief on him. He goes and spends 1 month, I think it was 6 weeks in total, with Damian Maia in his very next fight, Gary, he wins the fight because of groundwork. That's a fast learner. That's a very fast learner. And you have to follow the laws of logic. Ian is looking at Rakhmonov, who got the best of him, who was the veteran within the room, who was the alpha between the two. He's looking at that. And he's saying, but you're still that same guy. You were really good then. But in theory, you'd be just as good now because you're doing the same thing. Right? Definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Ian Garry is not doing the same thing. He has left. So he's taking the knowledge that he had at this time where Rakhmonov was on top, and he's added to that knowledge with the lights of training with the guys in England, and Leon Edward comes to mind, and now settling with a great like Damian Maia. I'm just sharing for you like the logic behind it, not to mention the age of Ian Garry. He was so young when he worked out with Rakhmonov. There are times that you get better in life just by being alive. We call it puberty the first time, but just by being alive, you get better. And that's what Ian Garry's counting on, and I hope he tells that story because it's a very interesting one. The risk that Ian Garry is taking. There is nobody in the company with a better record than Ian Garry. Not if you go percent. There's a couple of guys tied with him. There's nobody with a better record. As a matter of fact, Rakhmonov is tied with him, percent-wise. I know he's got a couple more wins. But it is very rare when you get guys with O's. Like, this is one of the oldest storylines in sports history. Somebody's O must go, but that never doesn't work. It doesn't matter if it's football teams or baseball teams or boxers. That works. Somebody's O must go. The reason we don't use it over here, the reason that Dana White could not be caught anywhere talking about somebody's O must go, he's never been in a position like this. MMA, it is so wildly difficult to go undefeated. It is so wildly difficult to go undefeated for 2 or 3 years or be like Khamzat Chimaev and win 7 fights in the octagon in a row. Rakhmonov has won 18 fights. He's finished them all. Ian Garry has won 15 fights. He's never lost. Dana's never been put in this position. And now the first time that Dana gets to promote, somebody's O must go. It's not even for the belt. That is a wildly difficult negotiation. Not even a main event. The most beautiful records in the company, the most impressive guys on the entire card, they're not even the main event that night. And neither one of them flinched. As a matter of fact, not only am I not giving you more, am I not giving you a title and I could do an interim, I'm not going to main event you and I got to main event somebody. You're going to give me 2 more rounds. That's how that negotiation went. That's crazy. They both said okay without blinking. They both think they know something the other one doesn't know. Or there's always the other option, which is they don't think they know more. They don't think they're going to win. They've just got balls of steel and they're willing to walk out there and put it all on the line and risk it all tonight anyway because this is the way the game is played. It's one of those two, and it's awesome. It should be a main event. It's not. It should be for some kind of a title. It's not. Both of those guys should be fighting for titles of some point, right? I mean, you go undefeated for 15 fights. You go undefeated for your entire time. You submit or knock out every man you've ever faced. Can we all agree? You should be fighting for some kind of title. They're not. One of them may never. Because they're putting it on the line here against a teammate. Against a friend? It's really quite unheard of. And I feel like because of the relationship they have, you're never going to count on Rakhmonov to be screaming from a rooftop with a megaphone. You can't count on for that. You can count on Garry, though you can't expect him to do that in this case. And it's for those reasons that this is kind of going by idly. It is a sneaky good fight. But it's a sneakily important fight, because the winner of this, make no mistake, will be fighting against Muhammad for the title.